Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Let Us Talk podcast show, the show that is rated R for real and not PG for playing games. I am one of your hosts, the Boss Lady.
And I am the D.O.C.
And we would love for you to continue to keep joining us for our weekly conversations about life, culture, and everything else. Get to know us, get to love us. Before we get in this episode, just want to talk about our sponsors, which is Cigar Junkies and CJS Educational Services. Definitely go check out the merchandise. We got some new shirts, new apparel on there. So cigarjunkies.com as usual. Before we get into anything, I just want to pause and just say, how are you doing?
Pretty good. How about yourself? I'm doing great. This is a great week so far.
It has been. This week has gone by so fast, but it has definitely been a good week.
Looking forward to the weekend.
Definitely looking forward to the weekend, but I feel like the weekend goes by so fast.
Yeah.
Any shout outs you want to give before we jump into this 3-course meal?
No, nothing right now.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Well, starting with our appetizers, you know we be serving up the 3-course meals. Appetizers always first. So I just want to kick into it because it was something I read recently, and it was about Mr. J. Cole and the fact that he came back and apologized, reportedly, to Kendrick Lamar, but supposedly still got this beef with Drake. What are your thoughts on that? The song that Future came out that had Kendrick on it. What was your whole reaction to all of this? Because these are 3 big rappers in the hip hop community. So, what was your thoughts on this?
Well, real quick, I don't have much of a thought on it at all.
Here you go.
I like the song Like That you're referencing with Kendrick Lamar and Future with the album with him and Metro Boomin. That's the dopest song on the album. And when I first heard it, I didn't really know it was a diss song. And then 2, it was, to me, lyrically, was one of Kendrick's maybe lightweight versions. So it wasn't one of his lyrically stronger songs. So it really didn't take notice of me. I more so like the beat, more so the production. And then I ain't gonna even lie, I never even wasted my time even listening to the J. Cole diss. I saw it all. He came back with a diss.
Oh,
that's why why would he apologize? That's why he apologized.
I did not know.
So, I know more about the apology than the diss, but either way, I could care less. But just from looking at it from the surface, I think it's kind of weird. Because one thing about hip hop is that it's about battles and who's the best lyrically. And right now, from album sales, you can say the top 3 would be Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick Lamar. Me personally, I like all 3 of them, but I've never seen J. Cole. I've never been to his
out of those
concert.
3, who's your favorite? Out of those 3,
my favorite would be Kendrick Lamar.
Okay, and
then Drake a close second, and then J. Cole. But I like them all. I like them all. I mean, I look at Kendrick Lamar the way people looked at Jordan in the 90s, that J. Cole never won a Grammy any major awards because the nigga Kendrick Lamar he was competing against that nigga.
True.
So niggas like Barkley, Ewing, Clyde, them niggas never got a ring as long as Jordan was in the league. And it's the same thing with J. Cole. As long as Kendrick is out there, and then nigga ain't gonna get no major awards and shit like that. Even though people say he's lyrically the best out of all of them. It is what it is. I like them all. But in the spirit of hip-hop, I thought J. Cole was weak just for backing down and apologizing. So, and I'm not looking at these other people, these fucking motherfuckers getting into it. That's toxic masculinity. Brothers can't always. These niggas wasn't gonna never take it no beyond lyrical rap. Part of
this ain't popping.
Part of hip hop is the battles where you had KRS-One dissing the whole Queens, Jay-Z dissing Nas with the Takeover, Nas dissing Jay-Z with Ether, Ice Cube dissing the whole NWA, NWA dissing Ice Cube, all types of shit. So
that's true.
That's just part of the history of hip hop. Even right now, just a month ago, you had Megan Thee Stallion going at it with Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
So, and they was just doing like
Yeah, so, it's gonna always be some type of beef.
Man, I don't really care too much, so. But anyway, yeah.
Well, I do like Kendrick. I do like J. Cole. I do like Drake. If it was me, I think mine would be Kendrick, then J. Cole, then Drake. I don't know. It's just Drake. I always make fun of Jaleel because Jaleel like his #1 fan. But I always say he always sound the same a lot. Like every time his album come out, it just seems like it just sounds the same. But anyway, speaking of music, I did not realize that today, 29 years ago, the soundtrack for Friday was released. Do you remember when Friday came out? Do you remember that soundtrack?
I remember when I first went to the movies to see Friday. I'm not gonna tell you that. I'm not gonna put the girl out there, but I was at Northwestern.
Yeah, don't. Yeah.
And she's married now, and but I was at Northwestern, and we went and saw. We had to go downtown because there wasn't a lot of places that showed black movies doing this. Was like what 93 or some shit like that, 93, 94, something like that, and we had to catch the train. I remember we went down and got off at the Chicago Avenue stop. And if you know anything about that motherfucking movie theater right there, as soon as you get out, lucky it's right as soon as you get out, because the motherfucking projects, Cabrini Green, is like 3-4 fucking blocks right down the street, so there ain't nothing but niggas over there. It's off the chain. It used to be off the chain over there, man. If y'all know anything what happened with the riots after the Bulls won in the 90s, they tore that shit up over there. But anyway, we went over there and saw it, and so that's what I remember about the movie Friday. I had never seen nothing like that before. It was funny from beginning to end. But your question was about the soundtrack. Mm-hmm. So I didn't even know that the soundtrack was that old. But I mean, it just shows, back in that day, the soundtrack was just as big as the movie. Mm-hmm. But nowadays they don't have that anymore. Maybe they should bring that back. So,
well, you talking about like dynamic soundtracks?
Yeah, bringing soundtracks and connecting them to the movie, because that was a big thing back in the day. Was connecting. Yeah. You had Above the Rim, you had Dead Presidents, you had Paid in Full. Yeah, you had all those, and those would be certain exclusive songs. That was good. There'd be exclusive songs that you couldn't get on the artist's album, and it will only be on the soundtrack. And then it was used to drop new artists that you may not even heard before, like the Menace to Society albums and things like that.
That was a good soundtrack too. Yeah. But yeah, Poetic Justice, that was a good soundtrack. Like I think every movie had a dope ass soundtrack.
That was just part of the formula back there.
That is true. I ain't gonna lie. So do Bad Boys had a soundtrack? Like, they had a soundtrack.
Like right now, if Bad Boys was coming out, the 4 is coming out in June. They should have a soundtrack to come out for that.
Well, don't they still have it like on streaming services or whatever?
Not like the way. What I'm saying is the way where it's connected with the movie, where the soundtrack, like you can sell 1 million, 2 million units. The fucking soundtrack could go platinum and the movie.
That is true.
The soundtrack could make the motherfucking movie go platinum.
That is true. That did used to happen a lot back in the day with soundtracks.
Because if the soundtrack is really telling the story of the movie, then all that's connected.
Okay. Well, 29 years ago. So that just show you just how iconic that is. Well, that is enough of our appetizer. It is really time to get to this entree. And so today we are talking about, because we've had this come up, and it was really based on the fact that both of our kids are now in college. And so the question has kind of come up a little bit. It's kind of like, what is our life now? With the kids being in college and things of that nature, especially in terms of traveling, not just the everyday life, but in terms of traveling. And I know we're not the only two people that are, I guess the term empty nesters or whatever the case may be, but we are one of those sets of parents. And so I just wanted to kind of get your thoughts on that, with how is, you would say, life now with kids being gone, especially in terms of traveling. How do you feel like it is now that,
I mean, anybody knows. I mean, it's pretty obvious in terms of traveling. You don't have to get extra rooms. You can eat whatever you want to eat, because you're usually trying to get something that everybody eats. So you may go to places that you normally wouldn't go. We like trying different foodies, different foods and things like that. Like, you won't do that. I'm not taking everybody to to Ruth, Chris, and Maestro. I mean, that's cool, but that not every day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, of course, your trips are more expensive. You do different things. Without children, whether they be small or big children, you do more adult things. You know what I'm saying? So because you don't have no kids. So yeah. So
okay. So go back a step. Just in general, how has your life been as a quote unquote empty nester? Kids are in college, because this is something that people actually ask. And
I mean, for me,
I can't speak for him. I can speak for myself. But
for me, it's been great. I mean, to me, as a parent, this is what you prepare your kids for 18 years or whatever it is, to go out there and do whatever it is that they do. I mean, you instill the values, you instill the morals in them. So it's up to them to act on that. You've set expectations, and now your job is to either help with providing resources or identify resources so that they can be successful, and that's it. And that's what it is for me. And so I know I've given my kids the room and the latitude to be adults. They've made mistakes along the way, which is natural. Nobody's perfect. Like I always tell people, it's not wrong with making errors. It's about error correction. And error correction means that you don't constantly make the same errors over and over. You correct them the first time that they initially happen, so that there's no repeat of it. So shit happens, and so but other than that, man, for me, shit, it's just like only thing they really need from me is advice and my money, and so I give a lot of free game. I try to watch my money, but you know what? But that's part of it. You want to help people. I wish people was helping me out when I was going through the same stages in life they are. But shit, it's cool for me. I actually love it. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the quietness of my house. I'm enjoying the cleanliness of my house. I'm enjoying the decrease in my bills, from food costs to electrical costs to water costs to bullshit costs. Motherfuckers walking around my house at 3-4 in the motherfucking morning. Motherfuckers just doing whatever because they adults at the end of the day. So I'm loving it. You know what I'm saying? And I've been able to been blessed to take 4 trips since the last one been gone. So I've had the opportunity to go on a cruise to the Bahamas and so yeah, I'm enjoying
it. Okay.
What about you?
I would say I am enjoying it, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest from my standpoint, from a mother's standpoint. I think with each child, especially with Jalil leaving first, I think it was something that I had to get used to, just being used to one of my kids being gone. And then once Layla left in August, I'm not gonna lie. Initially, I think I probably was like maybe sad for a few days. I wouldn't say the word. I wouldn't use the adjective sad. But I was just like indifferent because I was just so used to having the kids or a kid in the house. So I ain't gonna lie, I had to get used to the quietness of the house. I had to just get used to cooking for 2 people versus 4 people.
Not cooking at all.
Or not cooking at all. And it's like I only have to worry about just us with that. So I'm not gonna lie, it was something that I had to get used to as a mother. Now I don't know if that's all mothers or maybe just me because how I am as a mother, but I did have to kind of get used to it. But now I would tell you what I really enjoyed initially was our first trip. I think after Layla went to school, and that's when we went on our trip to on our cruise and stuff. And so in terms of traveling, it felt better to travel because I didn't have the stress that you used to have when you used to try to take trips and then your kids would be back home or your kids would be staying with somebody. And you worrying about like if they eating right or not eating right or whatever, they're going to be texting you and shit like that. So that felt good to be on a trip and not be like, damn, I ain't got to go grocery shopping before I leave to go on this trip. I ain't got to fill the fridge up. So that was kind of different. But I think now at this stage, I love it. I have my moments when I, miss the kids, stuff like that. But overall, I'm liking this thing called empty nesting. Yeah, I do.
Well, I'm enjoying them. They've been around for 22 years. And so I'm enjoying it.
So let's get into this conversation about travel. So I read that one of the latest trends is traveling alone. And in this particular thing I read, they were talking about, especially with women. So what are your thoughts on solo traveling, especially when you are in a relationship with somebody else and you decide that you want to do a solo trip, either by yourself solo or either with friends solo?
Yeah. Well, I think for me, I can't speak for everybody else. My situation is a little bit, it may not be a little bit different, but some people can relate to this. But initially, when I traveled solo, it was initially for work. At one point, I had, even my job now requires it, but not as much. But I had a time where I used to, travel solo. I wouldn't say quite a bit, but it'd be maybe 5-6 times a year. I don't think it was more than that, but it was enough. Yeah. And so when doing that, when you go to these places, and you go to some nice places, you get opportunity. I went to Hawaii. I went to Puerto Rico. We're not going to talk about
Hawaii. That's a whole different show.
I went to Puerto Rico, Miami, Las Vegas, San Diego, you name it, Atlanta. And, of course, you get time to yourself. And so with me, I'm going to enjoy it, whether I'm by myself or with someone. And so I'm going to go to the best restaurants. I'm going to find a strip club. I'm going to find a cigar bar. I'm going to find places to chill. That's what I do. I like to enjoy the city as much as I can.
Still get loaded?
So, no, all within reason. Because I'm still at work. And so, but anyway, for me, that's how I got into traveling solo. And so from there, I don't think it's a problem with traveling solo. I don't have a problem with my wife traveling solo. You know what I'm saying?
Now, of course, I probably haven't done as much solo traveling as you have.
You've done it. I've done it.
But I
went to places, like I said, I haven't had any issues with it. And, I believe that should be.
So that should be allowed within a relationship. Should nobody trip if the other person want to go someplace without them.
That's adult shit. To me, that's being adult. To me, a real man, because I think niggas, and some niggas may have problems with this because they old school and traditional. But with me, I'm not trying to control it. Because if you really on top of your shit, then you don't have a problem with your lady stepping out in certain situations and you not always being there. Because she already know, you already know. It's a certain understanding. And a lot of real niggas don't really understand that. So I know I can leave you in the room with a pack of niggas and I already know that it is going to be what it is when they get back. So, hey, some people don't have that sort of confidence and things like that. But for me, I don't have any issue. And I know you've done it in the past, so I don't have any issues with it. Mm-mm. And even when you come back, we've never had any problems or any issues.
Mm-mm. But I know, I'll tell you this.
I know what I do take it one time. I will admit this. One time she came back, she went. And this, you know how I really am into your hair, your nice hair. And you came back. This is way before wigs and all that shit was in fashion.
Oh my God.
This is like 20 years ago.
He's bringing
and she came back. I was like, hold up.
Because I left with my hair.
She left a certain way and came back a different way. And it was different because when I went to the airport to pick her ass up, I fucking drove past her ass twice. Because I wasn't looking for that motherfucking person. I was looking for the person who I dropped off 3-4 fucking days ago.
I forgot all about that.
Other than that, man, that was my only issue. That was my only. I thought, what the fuck is you doing?
The thing is, let me get context real quick before I give my side of this question, this answer. So I actually went to Miami. I had my regular hair. Ladies, y'all know when y'all go someplace warm with your regular hair, what does it do? It poofs up. You can't get in the water with your regular hair. And so the people that I went on the trip with, one being my cousin, Lisa, who knew how to do hair. Okay, no names. But she knew how to do hair. Long story short, she gave me a sew-in. It was like my first sew-in, I think. And it was actually cute. And it actually maintained my hair while we were in Miami. So, no, I didn't tell him I got a sew-in, nothing like that. I wanted to surprise everybody when I got back. But when I was literally standing there and I watched him,
was cheap. They probably got that shit.
No, we went to a real beauty. Miami got regular beauty supply stores just like here in Indiana. They got regular supplies, and you braid and you sew. Like, y'all ladies know how to do a sew-in. So anyway, but yes, he drove past me twice. Twice he drove past me, and really didn't have that much to say to me when I got in the car from the trip with my hair like that. So yeah, that was different. But traveling solo, no, I don't have a problem with traveling solo by myself, and I don't have a problem with him going on a trip solo, because the most hilarious thing is that I've actually been questioned. Like, you let Jimmy go on a trip. I mean, you go on a trip solo and things of that nature. And I'm like, yeah. And this is the thing. Sometimes I have even encouraged him to, like, just take a trip by himself. Like, hey, you deserve a trip by yourself. And it's not that I'm trying to push him out my face and nothing like that. It's just like, sometimes we around each other all the time. And I do know that sometimes solitude is good. It's good for the soul and things of that nature. And so I don't have an issue if he want to go on a trip by himself for a weekend or a few days or something like that, just to clear his head. It's not a problem at all. So yeah, I would encourage solo traveling at least once or twice. I really would. Now, traveling. So let me ask you this about your preference, or about preferences, or why don't you explain these different things to some people who may not have done it? Do you prefer cruise? Because, a lot of people don't think they're safe or don't think they're fun. Or do you prefer driving, old school driving, going to a hotel, or what you prefer? You prefer flying? You have a preference? What type of vacation?
I think it's changed as I've gotten older, and laws have changed, because the shit that I travel with and usually take on trips, I can now travel with it on the airplane with me. So now I would prefer to take an airplane. Like, I can take everything with you. Literally, you can take your gun, whatever else you want to take. You can take everything on the airplane now. So you can even take that. You just got to put it in your check luggage. And so you can take all of that stuff. So now I used to drive everywhere. Like, literally, it wasn't nothing. And then I was young, so I didn't give a fuck about driving. But now I just booked me a flight, a couple flights just an hour ago. So yeah, it's all about the flights now. So I prefer getting on the flight.
So no more driving.
No
more road trips.
I would do my thing for a road trip is a 6 to 7 hour drive. Something that you can do.
About head of St. Louis, head of Memphis,
Nashville. That's about the furthest I will go south.
So you're not driving to Florida.
Hell no. Atlanta. Hell no.
You wouldn't drive back to New Orleans? So we did that in 13, 14 hours.
Never.
Okay. You said you passed that stage of driving.
Yeah, that shit's over, man.
Alright. So what about the cruise? Do you prefer a cruise ship?
I love cruises. The cruise was nice. I like cruises for the most part. Except for your drink, your alcohol, everything is all inclusive. Okay. And so I love cruises. We've never had an issue at cruises. Even when some bad,
not safe.
I don't know. Niggas think that you are on like a motherfucking fishing boat or some shit. I like, man, you don't even know that it's a floating city, yo. You don't even know,
realize it
unless it's forecasted to be bad weather, but. They not trying to die either, so shit. They not trying to go there with and that motherfucker rocking like a motherfucking rocking chair. So they trying to go somewhere and chill too. So we've never had any issues. The food has always been great.
Oh yeah.
The service has always been fantastic. We've met cool people. We've always, and then now it's really catering to more of the urban black crowd. So you see it representing a lot of the services and stuff. So it wasn't like when we first started where it was just exclusively an all-white type of thing. White. So that shit's really changed. And you know what I'm saying? And we ain't never had no problem. We ain't never witnessed no crazy shit on the cruise.
No, now I would tell you this. When we went on our first cruise, I tell you, Detroit they show out wherever they go.
Oh, yeah,
I just always remember it was like 20, 30.
Shout out to Detroit.
20, 30 niggas on a cruise ship from Detroit. And I just remember they got into it in the club on the cruise ship.
And whooped them niggas.
And whooped some niggas on the cruise ship like they was in Detroit. Too. Yes.
They beat the brakes off them niggas.
Yes. Yes. I think they really forgot they was on a cruise ship. I really think they thought they were in Detroit. Like, they just tore that motherfucking club up. Right on a cruise ship.
That is true.
Now, I would say this. I love a cruise ship. I'm not going to even lie. I've even grown to really like the rooms, too, because our last room that we had an actually balcony. It had a balcony, it had a table, it had chairs. Like, we were able to
water and sleeping in the ocean.
Open up your door and just listen to the ocean breeze, all night. Yes.
And that shit was there.
Like, our room was illuminated by the moonlight all night. It was just, I'm not gonna lie, it's just a level of tranquility that you have on a cruise ship.
But they let you bring alcohol on the cruise ship too.
Up to like two or three fifths. Yeah, so believe me,
and that's more than enough liquor for 3 days. That's a lot. That's a lot of liquor because we got drunk as hell the last night to drink up all that shit.
Yes, and you can get you take your cigars. You can even get your other shit on the cruise ship. To be honest, I'm just being all honest. You really can. You can bring whatever you want on a cruise ship.
Yeah, you can.
You really can. But I say it is. The rooms are even. Now, the only thing I would say this is my only con about a cruise ship. If you are a fat motherfucker, like if you wider than half this table, you're going to have a very hard time fucking with them showers. Now, the shower about the only thing that is just like, I ain't gonna lie. Out of everything on a cruise ship, that's cool,
smaller than the closet.
You cannot be no wider than this to fucking take a shower.
My ass barely can get that
right. So that's the only thing that I would complain about. Because even the bathroom itself is enough to do what you got to do. But that shower, especially for a girl like me who take like an hour-long shower, that's about the only thing I would say is a con to the cruise ship. Everything else, like us docking, getting off the ship, everything, like we just really had some dynamic people on our cruise ship. I think that also made the cruise ship fun. We had black DJs. We had DJs that played black music. So it was just,
it was dope.
They had the liquor you wanted. So I would say this. If you've never done it in your life, do a cruise ship at least just one time. Just one time, just to experience it. If you do, you're going to be trying to book a cruise like every year. Just to do it. Just to do it.
I definitely would recommend that.
Now, what are your thoughts on all-inclusive resorts? Because that's something that we did not do when we first started traveling.
Going forward, that's the only way I'm doing it. I mean, people really they think that they be lying when they say it's all-inclusive. When they say that even means gratuity tips. Yeah, like when we went to the last couple of resorts, we didn't even have to give not even all that we had already been included. Yeah. So there was no money exchange because most of the time you was in your motherfucking swimming trunks and shit like that. So you couldn't even carry money or wallet on you anyway. So that's the main reason why there's no money, because everything's paid up front. So if you ever get a chance to do that, all inclusive, I would advise you to do it. I would too. Especially with the liquor package. We had a premium liquor package, so we was able to drink every day, all day, wherever you want it.
Wake up to the time you go to bed.
The food, butler service, I mean, everything.
You have your own butler.
So I would definitely advise people if you get a chance to do the all-inclusive.
Yes. I would even tell you this, even with the having your own butler, they take their job seriously. Like the butler we had when we went to DR, he came up on the D.O.C. You didn't get my text about dinner? I text you. You didn't give me your dinner selections. He texted.
Yeah, nigga, I ain't waiting on no text from no nigga. Like I told that nigga, man, I ain't waiting on your text, nigga.
He was serious about his job.
But he was,
But that's the best part about it.
I didn't have to worry about making reservations.
You ain't touching no bags.
I just called the butler. He took care of everything for us. Everything.
Yes.
Everything.
I definitely agree.
Shit, if I probably wanted some cocaine, you would have got that too. But, I don't fuck with that. He said literally anything you want, I can get it.
Man.
So.
Now, before we move on, what about traveling internationally? Are there places that you just say flat out, no, I would never go, just based on what you hear, what you see? Are there any places that you say no to?
I'm still a rookie to international travel, but I'm going to tell people this. Going internationally is no different than living in the motherfucking United States of America. I carry a motherfucking gun everywhere I go in Gary. So how the fuck is that different from going over there anywhere else internationally? The United States is fucking scary and dangerous as hell. So, I mean, the only place I wouldn't go,
like I ain't going to Russia or nothing like that.
That don't even I wouldn't go to Russia. That's not even on my list. Like, yeah, definitely nowhere Eastern Europe. I'm not going there. I don't want to go to fucking Ukraine, Russia, none of that shit.
I'm not going
none
there.
Of the former Soviet states.
Not going there.
No, that's about the only thing that I could think that I wouldn't.
Or like, what about South Korea, North Korea?
I would go to Iceland before Russia.
What about the Koreas? China, Japan. Would you go to China?
I would go to Japan before I would go to if I was to go to any of the Asian countries first, I would want to go to Japan. I heard Japan's real nice. It's just crowded as fuck.
Yeah, I heard it's
so very, very I would want to do Japan, but places that I wouldn't want to go.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie, I wouldn't want to go nowhere in Central Africa. I hate to say it. That's because them motherfuckers stay at war. I ain't trying to get kidnapped and caught up in no motherfucking shit.
That was my next question. But there's some places you can't.
But Western Africa, along the coast of Western Africa, Southern Africa, and then Northern Africa up there with Morocco and Egypt, I would love to go to those places. But I ain't fucking with all them other places where they still at war with that shit. They still popping off. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas getting busy. They like the Bloods and the Crips over there times 10. Other than that, I wouldn't want to go to none of them places. So, but yeah, I'm open for all that shit.
I am too. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. When I look at when I see different people go to different places, I just add that to my list. I'm just like, yep, I love the way that look. Yep, let me try to add it to my list.
Because I know people that are major international travelers.
Oh yeah, we're not on that level yet, but we will be.
They've never had any, because they post this stuff and they'll let you know, but they've never.
But then you see shit like when you see people going places and getting kidnapped and all that, you like, what the fuck?
You know why? Because them niggas not doing it right.
Like, what the fuck?
Them niggas not doing it right. Like, we run our shit through reputable motherfucking travel agencies that hook up your transfers. They making sure that you're and this is the other thing, they vet all the places and properties, so they've went already and checked them out. So they let you know if you're staying in places so we would never go to places that we're not supposed to go to.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not that fucking adventurous when I go to places. Like, Puerto Rico is nice. But that's parts of Puerto Rico, your ass better not be up in there.
Yeah, you better stay
They gonna get your ass, nigga.
You better stay where you are.
They gonna get your ass,
So when you travel, would you recommend that people do hotels or Airbnbs?
Well, it depends. Nowadays, we've been doing more Airbnbs because we like to move around. It depends. For me, it really depends on the city and where you're going and what you're doing. Okay. That all drives the activity.
Okay.
Because if I'm going with a bunch of people, let's Airbnb this thing.
Okay.
But if it's just me, and even if it's me and you, we may get like a condo Airbnb or a crib with a couple bedrooms. So it really depends on what's going on.
You may want to cook.
How long we there.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but the last couple times, it's been all Airbnbs because the Airbnb has been the same price, if not cheaper than it would be staying in the hotels. And then sometimes the hotels are not where you want to be, depending on, once again, the activities that you got going on.
Yeah, and then sometimes it's just you ain't up on everybody. You ain't got to get on no elevator. Go
but like,
room,
for example, when I go to Toronto, I think more than likely I'm going to check out a hotel because a lot of the activities, what I want to do, is centered in the downtown area.
So when you go to Toronto, this the next thing, renting cars versus Uber and Lyft. And the reason why I say that is because when I tell people sometimes that when we go out of town, we stop renting cars, they be like, well, how the fuck y'all getting around? And I'm just like, well, Uber, Lyft.
Uber Black.
Like, that's just, honestly, renting a car is just like a waste of money depending on where we go. Between the parking fees and you having to pay and
not only that, I like to get loaded and fucked up. Like I really believe
usually I'm going to be the designated driver
in rest and recreation, and
the
Uber removes all that. Now you don't have to.
Now I can get just as messed up as him now because I don't have to be responsible for the rental car.
So it all depends on where you're going, and what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So it all depends.
Okay, so now we're traveling. Let's get into something a little bit juicy. This whole concept of girls trip, guys trip. So, with the women in these girls trip, and I just want to use a couple examples to kind of gauge how you would feel about this. So girls trip example. They had this guy. They actually got a couple guys that be on social media, Instagram and on Facebook, and they give massages. And when I say massages, they don't give just regular, let me just go get 30 minutes. Like these dudes, when you watch these videos, they giving these women like sensual massages. So as a fella, would you be okay with your girl getting this? Or if a girl went to tell her guy, like, yeah, I'm going on a girl trip, and on this girl trip we get massages from this, how you think a dude should react to that? How would you react to that?
Well, it's a lot of different things. I mean, for one, if I'm there, then of course I think it would be disrespectful for a woman to get a massage from the guy, and he's touching areas that you wouldn't be touching in a normal massage. I'm a person who gets a massage on a regular basis. It's part of my self-care, and my masseuse, she's doing exactly what she needs to do to hit those areas. Ain't nothing sensual, sexual about that. That's purely health and wellness therapeutic. When I go, of course, you can get that. They had that in the Dominican, right? But my thing is that type of thing, I would have an issue with, especially with a guy that you, as a man, you haven't even vetted. So, you definitely would have to have a conversation with your partner, mate, spouse. Like if that's what you're doing, I wouldn't really want you, because what's the point of him rubbing your ass? What's the point of him rubbing in the inside where your coochie, where your pussy at?
Now, see, I was gonna get technical with the human anatomy and say technically that is your gluteus maximus and that is your groin.
Come on, that's bullshit, man. Let's be real adults. Let's not be bullshit.
I know.
Let's not be bullshit.
Yes,
so that's my thing. So
it is.
It's a delicate balancing act with that.
Now, would you have a problem if it's a woman?
Because I seen women. Let me tell you. Hold on. I'm not finished. I done seen women in that thing because I done seen it where the women is completely, the bitch done stripped butthole naked. I done seen the video. So she's out there naked and he's rubbing. And that's the thing. These dudes will do as much as you want them to do and as less as you don't.
Right.
And as little as you want. So that's my thing. I think I don't have any problem with massage, but I think that's definitely a line. Because I think a woman, I would feel the same way too as well. If I wouldn't, I think you would have it if she's sitting there just rubbing my balls and shit.
Well, I hope she ain't massaging your gooch or your balls.
That's the same thing you just said. It's a motherfucking muscle up under the balls too.
Like I hope she not struggling give you a massage like that. Like,
but really though, me honestly, I wouldn't have a major issue because it's no different than the guy going to a strip club and getting the lap dance.
So that was gonna lead to my thing. So with the woman. With the guy. So if the guy goes on the guy's trip and he goes to the strip club, should the woman have an issue with the man going to the strip club and actually possibly having conversations? What if the woman even offers to buy him a drink? Should the woman allow this?
That's never gonna happen in a strip club. Ain't no bitch gonna buy.
Well, we're not even talking about necessarily just a strip club, but just what if a woman buys you a drink? What if you on your solo trip, your guy's trip? And y'all somewhere.
Let's go for two different things.
Okay, so we'll start with the first strip club.
Yeah.
Should the man be able to go to the strip club on his guy's trip?
But the funny thing is that I ain't gonna lie. Half the time the niggas don't. It's amazing when you talk to niggas and you peel back. Half the niggas are scared and never even been to strip clubs. And then the other niggas, that's a whole nother different thing. And then the other niggas are cheap as fuck.
Okay.
So they don't want to go to the strip club and be that cheap nigga in the strip club. And so it's just really weird. So a lot of the niggas Half of the time the niggas don't even want to go to the strip club because they have a really weird idea of what the strip clubs is and things like that. So, but it usually is different than what they want. But anyway, I think if you getting a lap dance, it's no different. But the girl should be able to get a massage. I don't long as it's within reason. Like I said, at the strip club, the girl ain't jacking. She ain't jacking. She ain't touching your dick and nothing like that. She ain't. If you kissing a stripper in the mouth, you a nasty ass nigga.
I could tell you some stories, but that's
so. I'm just saying, niggas is out there wild. But yeah.
I agree. If you're on a guy's trip and y'all go to the strip club, that's cool.
But no, if a woman buys you a drink while you out, I don't have any problem with giving us a free game and conversation. That's it.
Now, would you go back and like if you're gonna be like, yeah, she just this bar bought me a drink while I was at the bar. She bought me 2 drinks. Matter of fact, should the man go back and tell his woman that this interaction happened, or just keep it to himself? It's a guy's trip. It stays on a guy's trip.
Why would he have to have it?
Okay.
Yeah, if it comes up in conversation, yeah, why wouldn't it? It don't matter.
Okay, now real quick, going back to the woman, because you said you brought up massage, so I want to ask you about the different type of massage, because I done seen videos where the girls go to Jamaica, and they're on a little raft, and the dudes do the mud massaging. Now, I've heard that there's a story that a lady let one of them dudes have sex with them.
Yeah.
I never saw that. I just heard it through the grapevine.
Yeah, I saw that.
So, are you also saying that if you go to Jamaica, if I go to Jamaica with my girls, that's also disrespectful? If you get a mud massage, just a mud massage.
Once again, long as you have a discussion about that, and he
like I'm on my swimsuit.
And the thing is, you're not gonna even know. You gonna hope that she follows direction, but. Hey, people gonna do what they gonna do, and that's that. And people follow peer pressure. They say that they don't, and they follow peer pressure because this bitch is over here doing it, and she's a hoe.
I mean, you gotta do it.
But people follow peer pressure, and it is what it is. But in that situation, it depends. Is she going on a trip with a pack of single women?
Well, let me ask you
this: is she going on a trip with a bunch of married women?
So let me throw this question out there. Should married friends and single friends travel together with the pretense of
I don't
that whole thought that?
But if you on a trip, then that would be the same thing with men. If you're on a trip and it's nothing but all single guys, and then there's one married dude, they doing what single niggas do.
Okay, so it got to be a balance of how many.
Yeah, same thing. If you go on a trip, it's 5 girls and they all single, and there's one married girl. So if they doing what 5 single girls do. And they trying to look for niggas to sponsor them for the weekend.
So if I go out with 4 single girls, then I'm a hoe. But if I go out
who said you was
2 married and 2 single,
I never once said
it's a balance.
Don't put words in my mouth. I never once said you was a hoe. I'm not
saying you calling me a hoe, but I'm just saying based on that logic, if I'm a married person, if I'm a married woman, and all of my friends that I'm going on a trip with a single, you said I'm doing what single women doing. And it all depends on
where y'all going. But hoeing goes anywhere, whether you in St. Louis or whether you in Las Vegas or Miami.
So, like I said,
hey, once again, it depends on the individual. Guys know they woman, and you know what I'm saying. They know they woman.
Okay.
So, but at the end of the day, it is what it is.
Well, I tell you this.
I don't worry about that type of shit.
I would love to hear from y'all in the comments. What do y'all think about some of this? What do you think about men and women taking separate trips away from their spouses and things, and engaging in things like massages or going to strip clubs, stuff like that? What is your reaction to that if your significant other come home?
Because if your girl goes out anywhere on a vacation, you know that they're going to go to someplace entertainment, to a club or something like that. And especially if you have a half decent looking young lady, woman, guys gonna holler at them. So that comes with it. So you as a man, you got to have some sort of sense within yourself where you got high self-esteem. You're not insecure. So you can let her go out. But my thing is,
and it's the same.
It's no different than somebody going out locally or they going out on the other side of the country in LA or Vegas. It's all the fucking same.
True.
whatever she gonna do, she gonna do it in Vegas, and she gonna do it fucking 10 minutes away from the house.
So true.
So true. I personally don't wreck my brain about that type of shit.
That's true, and I don't either. I really don't either. I'm gonna be honest with you. And some people may be like, "Oh, y'all just putting on the front. Y'all just putting on the front." Like, we're not saying we don't give a fuck about what the next person does. That's not exactly what we're saying. What we're saying is we're not about to rack our brain, or we're not about to be so, I guess, controlling to the point where we would have an issue with the other person traveling or hanging without the other person on a trip or with their guys or girls. That's all we're saying. It's not that big of a deal. Well, I appreciate you for that. That was good. I like that. So this comes to the last part of
Because I remember one time I was on the trip and I called and told you, I said, hey, I'm not going to say who. Hey, I'm saying, hey, they getting some strippers for us over here. And they coming over and they coming through.
Yeah, you did. You called me.
And I called and said, hey, that's what was going on.
And to me, that's just being respectful. That's just being respectful, honestly. So, yeah. Travel how you travel. Move how you move within the confines of your relationship. Like I say, it's all about being respectful and not being disrespectful. So with that being said, down to the last part of the dessert. It's going to be quick, fair or foul. We always do this. And it's all relates to traveling. So fair or foul, traveling with family, friends.
Fair. I love traveling with family.
Okay.
I wish we can get our cousin's trip back. We know we had a great time for 420
What's
back
up,
in
y'all?
San Diego.
Can we get that going?
So hopefully we can get that going back again. That cousin's trip. But yeah, I like that.
I do wish we could have had another family trip again, like before everybody started going in their own way with working and internships and all that. I do wish we could have had like one more family trip. Traveling with strangers, fair or foul. And what I mean by that is because you see a lot of traveling groups popping up now. People do solo trips.
Well, I would say it's fair because for one, with me, you're not sleeping with them niggas in the room. We grown, so I got the option to do whatever the fuck I want to do. If I don't want to do that shit y'all doing, I'm not doing that shit y'all doing.
We did.
So we had an opportunity where we got invited to a cabin trip about a year or so ago. It was we knew the people that were hosting. We knew somebody. It was like about 35, 40 people. It was 2 cabins. It was like about 25 rooms or some shit like that. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And
epic.
So we didn't know. We only knew probably about 8 of those people. But and the other people we didn't know. And we got to meet some people and develop some friends. And now we're part of some black travel groups.
Yeah.
We're gonna be making a major international trip to the Maldives. And we going with a bunch of black folks.
So we don't know. Some of them we know.
We met them. We met some of these folks at the cabin trip, and we're gonna travel. So that's cool. I mean, it's like 200 people. What's gonna happen?
Trying different drugs when you're on vacation, fair or foul?
I think that's fair. I mean, if you can go somewhere once again, and if you're not driving, you should try mushrooms. I do
want to try some.
I do not advertise drugs at all for people because even weed is not for everybody. Alcohol is not for everybody.
But I do want to try some mushrooms.
Hey, why not have an experience?
I do. Okay, what about doing crazy excursions, fair or foul? When I say
me, you know me. I'm that's foul for me. I don't really do
it's fair for me.
Because see, I be too fucked up. And see, that's how you get fucked up. And so you out there fucking around with some water, you going off mushrooms or this shit, and you wonder why your ass drowned. You know, stupid shit. Like, so I usually don't do none of that shit. I'm usually somewhere chilling with my sticks and with a great bottle and some music. That's me. That's what I do. I chill, baby.
Now, this last one, this has no bearing on you or I, either one of us, but it's a lot of people that travel. Sex with a stranger. Meaning, like, when I say this, I mean, like, you travel, you meet a person, y'all may have chemistry, whatever. Y'all end up having sex while you on this vacation. Fair or foul?
In this day and age, it depends. I almost want to say lean towards foul because motherfuckers out here is wild nowadays, G. Like, motherfuckers got diseases that go through and then or motherfuckers be setting you up. So I don't know. I don't be really trusting these bitches like that, man. So a bitch that just give, I ain't playing with it, G. I ain't that shit, man. So
fair, like you would, as long as it's safe.
Nah, I don't fuck with it, G. I ain't fucking with it.
Now, I just said, this is not in context of me and him. So, like, if you doing your thing and you single, you ain't got no man. But I would say definitely be careful, because nowadays you can't bring anybody to your hotel room now.
That's
you
got
to be real careful
G.
with
this
that.
Shit
so,
is the shit that be going on, G. Yeah. The shit that I've seen.
I mean, I guess I would say fair, foul. Fair if you safe about it.
G.
Foul if you not. I guess.
Yeah, I don't. It's a lot of different scenarios going on. And just to err on the side of caution, a complete random stranger, man, shit.
Hey,
if it's gonna pop off, let me get your number, and then we're gonna see if it pop off the next time, and then go for
the next day of the vacation, the third
something,
day.
Man, shit, you gotta be nowadays.
So a fine female come up to us, just like how that show we was watching with the throuple, and she come up to us and like, I want to have sex with you, with both of y'all. We on vacation. What you gonna say?
Like I say, y'all niggas better watch that. Niggas be, I'm dead serious.
What you gonna say? I just said what you gonna say.
Hey, hold up. What you on? You sure you ain't drunk? That's how niggas catch rape charges. See, niggas don't be looking at this shit holistic, G.
See, he gonna look at it totally different.
No, I look at it completely different, man.
So I guess I'm the dissy one. I guess I'll be like, sure.
You fucking crazy, bro. You think it's a joke. And you sitting in and the bitch wake up, oh, I ain't want to do that. You two motherfuckers kidnapped me in the room and y'all drugged me.
Ooh.
So now you got the accusation and you the accusation's
so I guess I would
enough.
record it. I guess I would have to record it. It'd be like, we making a porn. Like, I'm recording this, so it's sensual.
You got to.
And I'm going, when I record, I'm going to be like, so my recording this is us, a sensual agreement, consensual, that we are having this thing, so she can't say it's nothing else. I think that's what I would do.
I still don't know if I would do it, G.
Okay.
Yeah. It just a complete stranger. I would rather just pay for the pussy.
That's still a stranger.
That's different, G.
That's still sex with a stranger.
When you said sex with a stranger, I
said you meet somebody on a trip. You can meet a prostitute on a trip and have sex with her.
The thing is, with the prostitute, it's a straight transaction. So
but she's still a stranger.
She ain't gonna call no rape. She ain't gonna do all that shit because it's fucking up her other money.
Man, I done heard it all. On that note,
I'm telling you.
On that note, man, we're gonna end it here. So I guess the whole summary is that having sex with a prostitute stranger is safer than having sex with just a stranger you meet. It's all bogus.
I don't fuck prostitutes either, by the way. So I don't even want niggas to even think that. I don't fuck random bitches that I meet.
We don't do that. No. No.
There's too much shit going on out here.
With that being said, I just want to say just thank you for recording this episode with me. Continue to hit that not the like button. We want you to hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Again, any last shout outs before we get ready to go?
No, I just appreciate you folks, and make sure you hit the subscribe button. Check out cigarjunkies.com. There's some new merch up on there. Yes. Other than that, I love you folks, and we'll see you next
X convention this weekend. Yeah. Make sure you go. All right. Peace out. That's what we do. Peace out. Have a blessed week. Blessings on blessings on blessings.